Labadee is basically a private destination of Royal Caribbean, 15 miles of Cap-Haïtien in the north of Haiti, very close to Labadee village, which is basically the village nearby us. We're a small peninsula that we have beach on the right and left of the peninsula. Site manager is basically the person who in charge of the operation on the ground, the communication with the vessel, with the authorities, and oversee the operation of actually how we operate the beach, how we operate the activity. It's a little bit of everything. It's basically like managing a small town that you have bits and pieces from all over the place, and you need to bring everything together to make sure that our guests will have a wonderful time here. We're getting ready 3 to 3.5 hours before the ship arrives. So what we do, let's say the ship call at 9 o'clock. So by 5:30 everybody's up and trying to slowly get the operation ready. If it's setting out the beach, if it's dumping sand wherever we need, cleaning the bars, setting out the bars, setting the cabanas, putting the furnitures out, every little things, checking the equipment, the boats, if everything is ready for the big show, for the guests.
So my name is Philippa Joyner, but people call me Pippa. I'm from South Africa, and I am the Labadee dive manager for Royal Caribbean's private destination, Labadee in Haiti. So whenever a ship stops in Labadee, we do all the entertainment basically. We do jet ski tours, flight line tours, parasailing, snorkeling. We're here as dive instructors, but we also take care of all the maintenance on site. You know, we do the maintenance on the zip line, we do the maintenance on like the boats, we do the buoy lines, we're doing the coaster maintenance. So everything that needs to happen to get the tours operational, we actually don't just run the tour, we do maintenance behind it as well. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So today, guys, is training day. For those of you who haven't been here for a training day, because obviously some of you have never been to Labadee, welcome to Labadee, by the way, if you've never been here. I hope we have a good contract. Okay. On a day like this, usually the day would start with the meeting, then obviously the team is very good at getting their jobs done and making sure that they are ready for the next ship that's going to come.
There's a lot of the behind the scenes that the guest from the ship doesn't know. The ship comes in and everything is in place, but what the guests, is a nice thing for them to know is like we start at a decent time to make sure we're ready from a tour perspective, the site is ready, the beaches are clean. We assign every staff member with a non-ship day duty, as I can call it.
Okay, so there's about 50 people in total. So plus minus, because there's always people coming and going, but a couple of technical guys who take care of the fixing and everything, then there's some security guys, the management team, and then there's the diver team, which take care of all the tours. And then when there's no ship, then we tend to we've each got our own duties where we fix stuff along the way. So like I do aquapark, so I'm always fixing the aquapark on the non-call days.
When there's no ships around, then we come on to aquapark. I'm part of the team that maintains the aquapark. We keep it safe. We make sure that all the elements are inflated, that they've got handles, that there's nothing growing under it. Pretty much anything and everything to make sure it's safe for the guests. The aquapark is in Columbus Beach. It is the very last beach from the ship, well, as you're walking away from it. We've got a nice long beach here. We've got some cabanas. We've got the water slide right next to the aquapark. It's a great place for parents to come and bring their kids and relax for the afternoon.
All the staff working with me and my team, we've got all sorts of different requirements that we have to perform all the time. For example, on the non-ship days, we've got our rescue training. We go through on a weekly basis 1 or 2 different rescue scenarios. They're very important for everybody as we're protecting the lives and making sure the guests on the island is safe. As you can see, we are in a private destination which is surrounded by a lot of water. So a lot of the rescue training we do is in-water rescue trainings that varies from in-water spinal trainings to scenarios of somebody might be drowning. So we do rescue scenarios from this shoreline into the water, making sure we can get to the guests and keep them all safe.
We take it pretty seriously, but at the same time we like to have fun with it. So everybody has a bit of a joke. We see what we need to do. We're always looking for ways to improve and to make sure that we do what we should be doing. But it's quite a nice team-building social event, despite it being a serious rescue training.
Before the ship gets here, we are on site setting up everything for the tours, but we're also setting up the cabanas, we're setting up the site, we're just making sure that everything gets put in position. So the zip line, each person is going to be in charge or doing a different tour for that day. So it's not like one instructor is in charge of one area. They all know how to set up every area, but wherever they're going to work for that day is what they're going to make sure is ready for the site. So if they're working on zipline for the day, they need to go to the zipline, they do a flight test, they make sure everything is operational before the guests even set foot on the island.
Pretty much every morning we fly, the instructors and some of the guides fly the flight line. We're making sure that everything is working, we're checking the braking system, we're making sure that there's no damage to the lines. When we're heading up now, whoever's doing the test flight is going to make sure that the top is set up and ready to go. The other guys, there's one guy at the bottom here who's busy checking Baby Dragon. He's making sure that the braking system is good. He's checking the cables, the lines, making sure there's no brakes or anything like that. So the flight line is a zip line. We've got two of them. We've got the little Baby Dragon that we use. It's a mini-me version of the big one. It's pretty much where we're teaching people how to fly. Because we've got the biggest or the longest zip line in the world over the water, it's such a long length, we need to start taking into account the wind and people's individual body weight. So there's two ways that we need to teach people to fly. So we use the Baby Dragon to teach them how to fly. Then when we head up to Big Dragon, they can fly safely. We've got 5 lines on each of the zip lines. For each one, we're going to send one person, one of our team flying down. When we're flying down, we're having a look at the cables. We're pretty much just the test dummy to make sure that it's all working the way that it should. I'm pretty sure the guests aren't going to realize how much work goes into it. We do quite a lot to keep everything up and running. They pretty much get here and see, ooh, pretty island, beautiful things happening. They don't always realize how much maintenance goes on behind the scenes. They don't realize that we do quite a lot of safety checks. We're doing absolutely everything we can to keep the place up and running exactly the way that it should be. So what we're about to do, we've got 4 of us that are clipped in now. Usually we've got 5, so one of us will come back up. We're going to clip onto the flight line. We're clipping into each of the harnesses and going down the lines. We're checking the braking system. We're making sure that everything is working and that it's safe for the guests to fly down in about an hour when the first tours start. All right, so now I'm going to clip myself in. Our harnesses are a little bit different to the guests' harnesses. It's so that we've got more maneuverability. We can work as and how we need to. Cool, tighten that. Safety line in, disconnected. Third and final safety line, disconnected. All right. Guys, we all good to go? Yes. All right, 1, 2, 3, and away we go. So now we're flying down the zip line. I'm checking the cables, listening out, making sure there's no trees or branches in the way. And pretty much just having a fun little blast to start the day. So the lines are all good. There's one spring that's not quite in line, so Andy's going to fix that in. And we've got our final line coming down now. Cool, now we know our lines are all connected and they're working safely.
So right now we're headed to the Dragon's Tail coaster. I'm setting it up this morning, so then when the guests come here, they are ready to go. It's like a toboggan almost, a roller coaster in a way, but you get to control your own speed. So it's pretty cool. You get to see a lot of the island. The height of this goes up to about 500 feet, so it's pretty awesome views from the top. So for when we set up before the ship comes in, one of the first things we have to do is we ride the track ourselves. So we come in, grab our machete, go for a ride up the track, and we cut any of the trees that are in the way. Nothing like starting the day with a machete in hand and going up full speed on a coaster. All right. So basically, I'm just making sure that the tracks are clear on both sides. We also make sure those lights are working, which is all good so far. You can see the netting is all in place, which is perfect. Nothing lying on the tracks here. And we're gonna come around the corner. It looks like we might have something in the way down here. So this bush is just lying a little bit too low. I'm not that tall, but I know if there's tall people that come on the track today, they might get taken out by this tree. So I'm just gonna chop it down a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Nice and clear, good to go. The ride, wow. For me, I think this is scarier than the flight line. I do the flight line every day, but this, it's pretty scary. You go right up the mountain there and you come out the jungle and through the jungle, so you get to see amazing views along the way. It's really cool.
So the wave jet tour is about an hour and 20 minutes. Obviously safety is very important, so the guest will watch a safety video beforehand, but then it's obviously about making sure that they're having fun. The guest gets to drive the jet ski themselves, then they're going to be following an instructor. They go about 8 miles down the coastline and come back, and it's a tour, so we do make a couple stops along the way, give some information about Haiti, and just making sure that they're having fun but in a safe way.
Today I'm on jet skis, so that's all this over here. It's an absolutely wonderful day today, so it should be lots and lots of fun. It's looking quite busy actually, so we're probably going to be opening almost every 15-minute departures. We're going to head all the way out that way, make a stop behind the ship, and then head about 6 miles up the coast that way. Going into the bays and stuff should be lots and lots of fun. But the last couple of times I've been on jet skis, it's been absolutely amazing. Just really easy conditions, which is strange for this time of year actually to have it so calm. So weather plays a big part in this, but when it's glassy like this, absolutely gorgeous out on the water.
Parasailing it takes an hour total. We take 12 people on the boat at a time and they fly in tandem. So they go out on the boat. It's a lot of fun to be on the boat and watch the other people having an experience.
Well, we're in Labadee at the moment doing parasail excursions over here. We've got one of 3 boats. This is our boat called Manta Ray, where we take our guests out on the cold days. Generally run 2 boats, but obviously with these quiet periods of times we only run 1 boat. Take a maximum of about 12 people on the boat. We go out, we fly them up in pairs, so 2, about 6 flights per ride every hour. A ride's anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour being on the boat. And your flight time up in the air is anywhere from, it's about 4 to 6 minutes. We usually fly about 6 minutes when you leave the boat to when you come back, give or take. And then obviously conditions wise, everything is dependable on how the oceans look, how the winds are. Some days we can fly, some days we can't, because at the end of the day we want you to deliver the wow, but it's a bit hard when the conditions don't really cooperate too well. So other than that, it's a good time. Come and have some fun.
So we've just finished setting up the Dragon flight, or the flight line. We're going to head over to the main dock so that we can go and do a regatta. Every morning when a ship comes in, we do a little boat show for them just to say welcome to Labadee.
So the regatta started out as just more of like an entertainment and a welcome to the guests on the ship. And it's basically a parade, but on the water. So we use the parasail boat, they pop a chute and it actually says welcome to Labadee, and then all the jet skis, and it's all the staff that are allowed to drive a jet ski will get on the jet ski and go out. The more people we have, the more interesting it looks, the more fun it looks.
All right, we're about to pop the chute now, so lines are down. I'm going to just get into a direction here. And then we'll see what happens. How's the wind looking? Opposite. Well done. Woohoo! And there's a huge welcoming sign. Welcome to Labadee, everybody. You'll see all the jet skis do a drive-by, the rib boat, giving nice big waves to everybody.
What the guests need to bring with them off the ship is the same as they go to the beach at home or any other beach. You need to bring your towel, you need to bring your shippas, and a lot of sunscreen if you have. If you can't find a towel when you get off the ship, make sure you bring them from the room, or any location on the ship that you can sign up for a towel. It's important to bring some cash if you want to buy some souvenirs. Other than that, we use the shippas throughout the island. We are basically a cash-free island when it comes to Royal Caribbean activities.
The cabana experience, we have at least 4 different styles of cabanas. It's a place with some shade, but with some beach chairs and just their own private little area for them to relax and enjoy the ocean and just have some privacy. The cabana attendant will fetch drinks for them and just try to make their experience as relaxing and as comfortable as possible.
We have 3 food venues on the island, on the peninsula. One is Dragon Cafe, Labadee Cafe and Columbus Cafe. The great thing about it, the food is complimentary, the lunch is complimentary. It's a barbecue style buffet. You can find burgers, hot dogs, everything you wish to have in a perfect barbecue, you find in those cafes. The lunchtime varies based on the ship time. Usually it's between 11:30 to 1:30. Sometimes it can be between 12 to 2. It's very important to check with the ship upon arrival. The lounges, basically, we have more than 4,000 lounges on site. So there is no chance you won't be able to find any chairs available. The chairs are complimentary, and we have our local guys who will be happy to provide you with a chair if you need some help.
The trails are obviously things that not many people do because they don't even realize it's there. It's little pathways that are just through, not really a jungle, but it's through the bushes. Another thing is obviously called Dragon's Breath Point, actually, because there's a small blowhole, but it just sucks the water in from underneath and it creates the sound of a dragon, so that's why it's named that.
There is a pathway that will take you all the way out. There is a nice seating area, and if you sit and relax for a few seconds, you can actually hear like a dragon breathing underneath you. It's great, it's so relaxing, and the view out there, it's spectacular.
It's more, I think, the lifestyle. As diving instructors, we're kind of used to the beach and we're used to the ocean, and it's beautiful. It's very remote. There's not many people here. Obviously, if there's a ship, there's plenty of people, but just also being active. We're doing tours all the time. We're very active in this job. We live at the back of house. We have accommodation that was built by Royal Caribbean, so we each have our own room. There's a common area as well, so everyone has access to the TV and the internet, and just a place for everyone to relax together and enjoy their time that is free.
Our living conditions are amazing. We basically get everything sorted for us. All of our food comes in off the ships. We make our own food. We have lots of food to choose from. We have big double rooms to ourselves, which is amazing. So it's really good.
Well, we have one diver that his off-duty job is to make sure that there's enough food on the island for everyone that's here for a week at a time.
Okay, so my responsibility is food duty is the official name for it. So I order all the food which comes onto the island for the crew. Right now we're obviously in the common area. It gets very busy in the mornings before work. So it's kind of a timing thing. You've got to get in here, do your thing, leave it clean, and then leave. And then in the evenings is obviously the main time when it's busy. Kitchens are generally a social hub, so it gets pretty busy in here. Well, very often you'll actually get a lot of people teaming up together. They'll make a big meal for themselves, maybe make a big stir fry or something like that. And people will get together and cook for little groups. Sometimes we'll have what we call like a family dinner where we cook a big meal and everybody sits down and eats together. But then again, sometimes you get the lazy nights where everyone just makes a pizza or pasta or something like that. So.
We all are like one big close family, which is awesome. We have lots of dinners together.
Whenever we've had a ship day and we don't have a ship the next day, we've got a barbecue, or as we South Africans call it, a braai. We all get together probably 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. We start the fire, we start having some beers and socialize, have a good time.
When they get time off, since it's the ocean, they take the jet skis to little islands, to other beaches.
Off days are fantastic. Every now and then we get a Sunday off and we get to go surfing or kite surfing, kite boarding, fishing, scuba diving. There's so many options. It's a great life, and unfortunately somebody has to be doing this job, so sorry to be you, but it's going to be me.
One of the most important things that we do here, we look after the communities. If it's the communities by itself, if it's some donations that come from the ships, or it's our school. We have a Royal Caribbean school here with 358 students that we oversee, maintain, look after the kids, if it's lunch, books, uniform, syllabus, everything in order to meet the requirements of the education in Haiti. The school is up the mountain, 5 minutes drive. It's on a beautiful piece of land. Royal Caribbean involvement in this school, it's providing these kids a future, a chance for a brighter future. I think it's an amazing task that we took on ourselves to support the communities, to look after them. It's one of our major achievements that we are able to do here in Haiti and support the local population.
You just want them to leave happy. You want them to have enjoyed themselves and not had a bad experience, if you know what I mean. You want them to come here and do what they enjoy. Everyone's different. Some people don't like doing any kind of adrenaline sports. That's why we have the cabanas and stuff to offer.
It's pretty good, I must say. Coming from New Zealand, like it's a very cold place back home. Over here, it's beautiful all year round. I love the heat. I love doing all these activities during the day. It's never a dull day on Labadee. It's amazing.
I love it here. This is like a second home for me. My family's here, everything's here. This is really, it's what people dream of, and I'm doing it. So it makes me so happy.
The environment is pretty relaxed. For our scuba diving instructors, this is the island life that we're always looking for. We get to live with a small community of people that we get to know. We've made some really good friends for life, I think.
And then of course just the relaxing time and the sunsets for me here is fantastic. Seeing the sun go down, waving a ship off on the sunset. It's a very nice little event, seeing the ship leave during a sunset. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, the first day I got here in 2008, I couldn't actually believe that people we get paid to actually do this kind of stuff. What do? I take out jet skis and I do zipline tours, and it's just been a fantastic journey, you know, honestly, from day one. You know, with any job you kind of always say it becomes monotonous, but it's so much fun, man. I mean, you're out here, weather like this, you know, ocean like a lake, and it's just amazing most days.
When you come here, first of all, leave your worries on board, come to the beach, enjoy, try to find your own peace of mind. It's where you will choose to go. And to come back to the vessel and say, wow, it was so good to be in Haiti. I'll be back on Labadee again.